Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Recha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Genesis, the 42nd chapter. Now when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons, Why do ye look one upon another? Basically, the old English way of saying, what are you doing just standing here looking at each other? Like, don't you know we have need of food? Let's go get some. And he said, Behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get you down thither, and buy for us from thence, that we may live and not die. And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt. But Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Jacob sent not with his brethren. For he said, Lest peradventure mischief befall him. And so Jacob was considering how when he sent, he probably maybe blamed himself when he thought Joseph was dead, because he sent Joseph to go and check on his brethren. And then as far as he knows, word comes back that like some animal or wild animal got him and killed him. So now with Benjamin being the only other son he had by Rachel, which we know that he loved Rachel above, all his other wives, he's very overprotective of Benjamin, right? And also keeping in mind, that's why he said that, no, Benjamin stays here. I don't need another repeat of what happened to Joseph happening again. And the sons of Israel came to buy corn among those that came, for the famine in the land, or for the famine was in the land of Canaan. And Joseph was the governor over the land, and he it was that sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the earth. So that's one part of the dream that he had, right? Where in his dream, it was the sun and the moon and the 11 stars that paid obeisance to him, meaning they bowed to him. But prior to that, he also had a dream that they were binding sheaves, and his sheaves stood up, and his brother's sheaves bowed towards his. And now, lo and behold, here his brethren are, right, bowing down their faces before him and not even realizing that it was him. And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, so he instantly recognized them, but made himself strange unto them, and spake roughly unto them. And he said unto them, Whence come ye? So they didn't recognize him, and he pretended not to know them. So as it says, he spake roughly unto them, meaning like he was rude. And this entire time he was speaking with through a translator. So being the governor of Egypt, he had to have spoken the Egyptian tongue. But obviously his brothers spoke Hebrew, and he understood Hebrew. But when he spake to them with a translator. So he would speak in the Egyptian language, and the translator would translate it into Hebrew for them, even though he understood them. And they said, From the land of Canaan to buy food. And Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew him not. So he recognized them, but they didn't recognize him. And Joseph, and think about it too, right? In their mind, they're like, yo, he's long gone somewhere, right? Like, they didn't expect to see him again. And Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them, and said unto them, you see, about them coming to bow to him, Ye are spies, to see the nakedness of the land ye are come. So he accused them. He looked at him, he accused, said, No, y'all are spies. You guys are definitely spies. And you're coming to see, how vulnerable the land is, right? And spy it out and see, if it's a good opportunity. And they said unto him, Nay, my lord, but to buy food are thy servants come. We are all one man's sons. We are true men. Thy servants are no spies. True men meaning we're honest. And he likely was probing at this to get more information about them. Because if you accuse them of being a spy, natural instinct is for them to defend themselves. And in doing so, most people tend to reveal more about themselves to prove that, no, I'm not a spy. how can I be a spy if I'm such and such, or I live such and such, or that kind of thing. So he's getting more information out of them. And he said unto them, Nay, but to see the nakedness of the land are ye come. So he says, Nope. So he's doubling down on it. He said, No. Yo, you guys are spies. You're not here for food. You're here to spy out the land. And they said, Thy servants are 12 brethren, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And behold, the youngest is this day with our father, and one is not. So the youngest brother, being Benjamin, was back with Jacob, but the one that is not, meaning one of them is dead. That's Joseph. That's what they think, right? And Joseph said unto them, That it is that I spake unto you, saying, Ye are spies. Or in other words, as I said before, you are spies. Hereby ye shall be proved. By the life of Pharaoh, ye shall not go forth thence, except your youngest brother come hither. So the only way to prove that you're not spies is you're not going to be able to leave until you bring your youngest brother over here. Since you said you had a younger brother, that is, right? Send one of you, and let him fetch your brother, and ye shall be kept in prison, that your words may be proved. So we're going to keep you here in prison until we can verify that you are telling the truth. Whether there be any truth in you, or else by the life of Pharaoh, surely ye are spies. And the life of Pharaoh is, it's like it's like damn, how do you even, it's a good way to phrase this. Surely, it's like saying for like for sure, and that's just like a saying. Um, verse 17, and he put them all together into ward 3 days. And Joseph said unto them the third day, Do this and live, for I fear God. So after 3 days, he came back to them because he's considering now, right? Like, okay, if their father sent them here, then they must be struggling by the famine over there too. So if you just keep holding them here, that might not, be too good. So he comes back and says, If ye be true men, let one of your brethren be bound in the house of your prison. Go ye, carry corn for the famine of your houses. Now remember, Joseph was he was wise, right? He was very smart and strategic as well. So he says, you know what? Instead of all you staying, you one of you stays, and the rest of you take the corn, right? And for the famine of wherever you came from. But bring your youngest brother unto me, so shall your words be verified, and ye shall not die. And they did so. And they said one to another, We are verily guilty concerning our brother, in that we saw the anguish of his soul when he besought us, and we would not hear. Therefore is this distress come upon us. And what they were reflecting back on was when they sold they sold Joseph, and when they said we saw the anguish of his soul. Basically, they were recalling how he was desperately begging them not to be sold, right? Like, please, no, I'm sorry. Look, I won't talk about the dreams anymore. I won't say anything bad anymore. Please, just don't let them sell me. He's probably crying, calling their names, Judah, just calling them out. And they're just like, nah. So he's getting sold off. He's probably, now at that point, he probably started asking for anybody's help, help, please, don't let them take me. And then they ended up taking him. So that's the anguish of his soul that he was, as it says, when he besought us, when he was begging them not to sell him. And we would not hear. So now they're like, damn, yo, this is the Lord bringing judgment upon us for what we did to our brother. And Reuben answered them, saying, Spake I not unto you, saying, Do not sin against the child? And ye would not hear. Therefore, behold, also his blood is required. See? So Reuben, being the oldest, he's like, see? That's why I told you, big ass head, to not hurt him. Just put him in the pit, put him in the well. And you guys didn't listen. Now look, now basically his blood is being required at our heads. And they knew not that Joseph understood them, for he spake unto them by an interpreter. So they're speaking in Hebrew. They didn't know that Joseph understands, because he looks like an Egyptian and he's speaking the Egyptian language. Once again, he was speaking to them through an interpreter. And he turned himself about from them and wept and returned to them again. So when he heard that, it brought that back to his memory, his mind. And so he leaves their presence. He went and cried. He broke down. And then he came back again and communed with them and took from them Simeon and bound him before their eyes. Then Joseph commanded to fill their sacks with corn and to restore every man's money into his sack and to give them provision for the way. And thus did he unto them. So this was secretly, right? He commanded secretly to say, okay, give them the corn, but also the money they came to buy it with, put that back into their bags, and then give them, as it says, provision for the way. And they laded their asses with the corn and departed thence. And as one of them opened his sack to give his ass provender in the inn, so at a place where they stopped by, because it's not a a 2 hour journey. So they stop, and he's about to feed his donkey. He espied his money, so he sees the money that they quote unquote were supposed to have paid for the food is still in his bag. For behold, it was in the sack's mouth. And he said unto his brethren, my money is restored, and lo, it is even in my sack. And their heart failed them, and they were afraid, saying one to another, what is this that God hath done unto us? So basically, in their minds, they're thinking, shit, we're already being accused of being spies. We go in here to buy food, and now we got the food and the money. We're cooked. It's going to look like we stole. So that's why it says their heart filled them. So their heart, pretty much dropped to their ass and back up to their chest. Now, at this point, they're not even sure what to do. And they came unto Jacob their father unto the land of Canaan, and told him all that befell unto them, saying, the man who is the Lord of the land spake roughly to us, and took us for spies of the country. And we said unto him, no, we are true men. We are no spies. We be 12 brethren, sons of our father. One is not, and the youngest is this day with our father in the land of Canaan. And the man, the Lord of the country, said unto us, hereby shall I know that ye are true men. Leave one of your brethren here with me, and take food for the famine of your households, and be gone. And bring your youngest brother unto me. Then shall I know that ye are no spies, but that ye are true men. So will I deliver you and your brother, and ye shall traffic in the land. So if you go, you bring your youngest brother, then you can prove yourself innocent, and then I'll give you your other brother that is bound over here, and then you're free to, buy and sell in here. And it came to pass, as they emptied their sacks, that behold, every man's bundle of money was in his sack. And when both they and their father saw the bundles of money, they were afraid. So they start looking at each other like, oh shit. So it wasn't just one of you. All of you got the money back? Listen. And Jacob their father said unto them, me have ye bereaved of my children. Ah, Joseph is not, and Simeon is not, and ye will take Benjamin away too? All these things are against me. So Jacob is just going through it at this point. He's saying, look, how many of my children you gonna take, man? Joseph is already dead. Now Simeon is caught captive in Egypt, and you want to take Benjamin too? And Reuben spake unto his father, saying, slay my 2 sons, if I bring him not to thee. Deliver him into my hand, and I will bring him to thee again. So let me take responsibility for for Benjamin, and if I don't bring him back, you can kill my 2 sons. But Jacob wasn't trying to hear that, and he said, my son shall not go down with you, for his brother is dead, and he is left alone. If mischief befall him by the way in the which ye go, then shall ye bring down my hair or my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave. So he said, no. Benjamin is not going anywhere. I already lost Joseph, and if you go and something happens to Benjamin, I'm going to die with sorrow. So that's not happening. And that brings us to the end of the book of Genesis, the 42nd chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.